Hey guys, the Wood Craftsman here, and I got a quick video here. It's more so of a question for all the YouTube community, my subscribers, and all the members out there of the forums. I'm looking for some feedback for a new miter saw. In the previous videos, I've kind of mentioned that I've been taking a really hard look at the Bosch Axial Glide 10-inch and maybe look at the 12 real briefly. But I was recently talking to a friend of mine who actually came from Germany, and he's got a Festool background. He really told me I was kind of not giving the Festool Kapex a fair review. He was saying that they are a lot more expensive than the the Bosch and some of the other ones. But what he did say is that it was worth every dollar that you spend for it. I've heard some good and bad about both saws. A friend of mine actually has the Bosch Axial Glide 10-inch. He's had it here for about 6 months or so. He really likes it. He actually retired the exact same saw that I have here. But at the same time, another friend of mine has the Festool Kapex, and he originally is from Germany. And the one thing he did say is that it's definitely worth the quality. And he did say that the Festool equipment's a little bit cheaper here in the United States than it actually is over in Europe. So he said kind of really take advantage of that. And we talked about a lot of Festool things, the jigsaws and the routers and some other things. So he had really advised me to, hey, take a serious look at the Kapex. So I guess my question to the YouTube members out there in the YouTube community and all my subscribers is, those of you who have the, say, the Bosch Axial Glide and the Festool Kapex, what do you and what do you not like about them? I'm kind of expecting a very large amount of comments on this. I'm hoping that I'm going to get some real good feedback from everybody just saying, hey, I love this about my Bosch. I love this about my Festool Kapex. I don't like this about my Bosch. I don't like this about my Festool Kapex. And I don't have either one of them, but I have this DeWalt number blah, 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 and I really like it. So it may be that there might be another decision within there to be made. But this saw here has been really good in the shop. It's starting to show some signs of wear. The bearings, the linear bearings, are starting to get sticky in some spots. I've gone through that and made sure they're clean, and just starting to, I think internally they're kind of filled up with some fine dust over the last 12 years almost. The electronics in the motor are starting to show some failure. A friend of mine that had this exact same saw that retired it with the Bosch Axial Glide, he said his started where the brake didn't work, or it would work half the time, and that's where this one's starting. Then he said it kind of went from the brake to where it was kind of unreliable, where it would start sometimes and it would run, it would ramp up, and it would kind of slow down, kind of like it wasn't getting appropriate feedback from the electronic feedback and soft start control. He replaced the brushes, replaced the switch, still didn't have the issue fixed. And then he actually replaced, was going to replace the soft start control, which is actually also part of the electronic feedback that actually makes the motor maintain a constant speed underneath a certain extent, I guess. And I think he said when it was all said and done, that part was like $200 and some when he could just buy a brand new saw for a couple $100 more. So he opted to go to the Bosch Axial Glide. Like I said, that's kind of what I was really leaning to, but somebody else told me, like I said, another friend of mine who's got the Festool Kapex, who's originally from Germany, he'd said take a really serious look at the Festool Kapex. I don't own any Festool equipment, so I guess I can't say I don't know what the quality is like, but I have talked to some other people out there who have a lot of Festool equipment and they really like it. And there's some other people out there who just have a couple pieces of Festool equipment, like the track saw, for example, is quite a popular piece of equipment that a lot of shops will have. But like I said, it's something new for me, and I just want to make sure that when it comes time to purchasing a new miter saw, whether it be a Bosch Axial Glide 10-inch or a Kapex, a Festool Kapex, I just want to make sure that if I go that extra mile to spend the $1,500 or whatever it is for the Festool Kapex, that it's money well spent. So I don't own any Festool equipment to say that, yeah, Festool makes some excellent stuff. I've got a lot of feedback out there from the track saw that I got, which was a Makita, which is very similar to the Festool, but the quality and the tolerances are different. So If I do get a Festool Kapex, it'll be actually the first piece of Festool equipment I've ever owned. And then it might be a whole new start for the shop here, where maybe I start looking at some Festool portable power tools. So that's kind of what this video is about. You might be wondering, why am I limiting it down to Festool or the Bosch Axial Glide? The biggest thing I like about those two particular saws is that they have eliminated this wasted space back here. This was always the handicap for a shop, was with the sliding miter saw, was to have this rolling arm in the back. Now this is a newer model from Makita. This is an LS1013. Like I said, it's about 12 years old. They made an improvement on this one compared to their first model, which I think was an LS1011. It was a single rod, and it wasn't really stable. There was a lot of flex in here. This one's got some flex too, but it's not like what the older ones were. So that's kind of what I'm looking for in this video, is just to kind of fill the comment sections up with comments from you guys out there who run the Bosch and the Festool. And I want to know what you like and dislike about it. And based off the comments, that's kind of where I'm going to kind of make my decision to go for. You know, $1,500 is a lot of money for me to spend on a miter saw, but if it's well worth it, that's a different story. I'm always willing to save up a little extra money for something that's a little bit more expensive, that, you know, maybe in a class of its own, versus buying something cheap. You know, when I first started woodworking, I had the cheap stuff. I had the my grandpa's Craftsman 10-inch contractor saw. It was a belt drive unit, probably from the late 70s. And his old Delta Homecraft 4-inch joiner. That's what I started with, and I started buying equipment from there. My first bandsaw was a Black & Decker benchtop unit. I got a week out of it before it started giving me issues where I couldn't keep the blade on anymore. So then I knew that I needed to start stepping up a little bit if I wanted to buy something that was going to stick with me for a while. So that's kind of like with the miter saw here. I would like to get another miter saw that's going to last another 10 to 15 years or longer. It'd be great. So maybe that's where the Festool will come in. Maybe the Festool will have a much longer longevity than some of the other ones out there, but I'm not sure. So I don't have any history with Festool, so I can't say that. And I don't have a whole lot of history with Bosch. I've got a couple pieces of Bosch power tools. I've got a little, I think it's a Colt trim router, and I got a cordless drill. Oh, and I have an eye driver from them. So other than that, I don't really have any Bosch equipment. Makita, I've got some cordless drills. My very first cordless drill I bought was a Makita. You know, there's some things like that, but other than that, you know, when it comes to buying equipment in the shop here, for portable power tools, you know, it could be Makita, could be Milwaukee, it could be Bosch, possibly DeWalt, but I don't really have a set preference where everything has to be the same. Even when it comes to stationary power tools, if you guys have taken the YouTube shop tour here from the 2015, about a year ago, excuse me, you'll see I have Delta and Powermatic mostly, and some Grizzly. I got a Grizzly Power Feed on the one shaper, got an Nandine on the other. Other than that, it's, you know, Delta Unisaw, Delta Joiner, two Powermatic 27S shapers, Delta heavy duty, or actually a Rockwell heavy duty single speed shaper, Delta line boring machine, my Delta bandsaw, which was the first brand new piece of equipment that I bought that was of an industrial quality. That's that's close to 24 years ago. So time flies. But yes, I mean, I don't have a set preference as far as, you know, I got to stick with this particular brand, but I just want to make sure that, you know, because it's an investment, you know, all this stuff for, you know, all of us woodworkers, whether you're a hobby or a DIYer, or you kind of got like a side job or something like that, you know, it's still an investment. So unlike even a large shop, or, you know, a couple man shop where you're cranking out, you know, several kitchens a month or something, to buy a piece of equipment like that, you want to make sure that money's well spent. So that's kind of what I'm after here. You know, it's not something that gets used 8 hours a day by no means. It's maybe, you know, it just varies. So it just depends on what's going on in the shop here. So that's kind of what this is about. I just want to get the feedback, what you guys think about the Bosch Axial Glide, whether it's a 10 or 12, and then the Festool Kapex. Like I said, I didn't really give Festool a chance on it just because I've never owned a Festool, and I always kind of thought the Kapex was overpriced. And I might find out from, you know, comments saying that, you know what, I've had this saw and I went to the Kapex and, you know, it was just a world of difference, and that's kind of what I'm looking for. So I'm just looking for the open discussion as far as what you guys have to say about these two miter saws. And somebody else might say, you know what, I've had excellent luck with the Hitachi or the you know, DeWalt or whichever. It's been really good. So that's what I'm kind of looking for. So anyone who's got some real good feedback that can tell me what they like and don't like about those saws, that'd be much appreciated, because that'll have a heavy weigh in as far as which way I think I want to go here, whether it's Bosch or Festool or some other one. So anyways, hope you guys enjoyed this video. It's not, I apologize, it wasn't a woodworking video, but basically it's woodworking shop talk, so hopefully you guys got something out of it. And please leave a comment down below as far as what your thoughts are if you own one of those saws, what you like, what you don't like. And if you actually want to spend more time talking about it versus you know, trying to write a comment, I might set up like a Google Talk or something where you guys, we can talk Google, I think it's called Google Video or something, and we could kind of talk live, I guess, to a certain extent, which would be a good experience as well. So anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and like I said, please leave the comments down below with your thoughts, and we'll go from there. All right, questions and positive comments are welcome. Thanks for watching.